Welcome to the YouTube channel. Make sure to like this video and subscribe. What are your thoughts on secular music? Put it in the comments below. We would love to hear what you think about secular music. Should Christians only listen to Christian music, or are they okay to listen to secular music? I'm gonna just give you a question.
Yeah, sure.
Do you think that teenagers, high school students, do you think that they should listen to secular music? If so, what kinds? If not, why not? So do you think teenagers should listen to secular music?
So I'm going to give you my blunt honesty. When I was a teenager, that was probably not that long ago. When I was in high school, I regretted listening to secular music because it started to change my whole mind, especially when you're just so young. When you're a high schooler, you're in high school, you're hearing a whole bunch of other people's views on life, and you're hearing a whole bunch of other nonsense and secularized things just in the high school environment. I started listening to all these other secularized artists, and it started feeding me with sin. I'm talking about I started having a porn addiction. I started having a really bad porn addiction, just hearing the music talking about women with, I'm not going to go in depth with it because we all know what the message is about. It's about overall sex, money, drugs, stuff like that. But my main thing, because when I would hear about it, was mainly about sex. So when you would hear that type of music, it used to put me into a deep path, especially with some artists. Like I was a big Tech Nine fan. From Tech Nine, I would listen to like YG. From YG, I would listen to Nipsey Hussle. From Nipsey Hussle before he passed away, I was listening to that. But just hearing the philosophy of what these guys were saying, obviously their intake on life isn't godly at all. It's talking about worldly possessions. It's talking about what the world has to offer, especially how to live a good lifestyle. So was I believing in that type of stuff? No. But was it partaking into my lifestyle? Yeah, it was, because I was addicted to porn. And I was going through depression too. So when I was going through depression, I was listening to this type of music, it started changing my attitude. I started having anger issues. I started to become more bitter. I started to... And I'm going to be honest with you guys, I still struggle with this type of stuff even as an adult. But now recently, you know, I became more maintained with my anger. Thank the Lord. But overall, that type of stuff, it would kind of affect me in a way. So, yeah.
So I think that teenagers, I think parents definitely need to be more involved in their children's lives
so
with what messages that what messages that they can be receiving and believing.
Right.
So there's this line that Christians need to be aware of. We understand that there is a message behind a song, and we can appreciate art. So do we believe the message? Can we appreciate art? So there's this line. We don't cross the line to believing a secular worldview in their perspective. We can appreciate art. We can like sound. We can like the way that people sing. People like the way that they rap. But we don't have to like the actual the message behind it. Nor should we support that particular message. Christians need to do that. And so parents need to be aware of teenagers who are listening to secular music, talking with them about music, having discussions with them. Hey, you like this song? Do you know what this song is about? Do you believe what this song is about? Stuff like that. Those discussions need to happen, and that's just a variety of music. As far as music goes, entertainment goes in general, Christians don't believe the worldview that's propagated, but we can appreciate the art. We can enjoy the art. And that doesn't mean that we have to actually subscribe to the message that it brings. And you mentioned like there's an influence behind music, and I think we've seen that in our own life. Like when I was in high school, and I enjoyed Drake. I enjoyed his music a lot. I still do enjoy Drake's music, but not to the degree of actually what it did to me in high school. I felt like I was the man. I felt like that I was superior to people in some way. I felt like I was super good looking, like I had it all together, and when I listened to Drake. But as I matured and as I got older, I understood that there is a message and that there's an influence behind music, and you need to listen in moderation, with a sober mind, not just talking about getting high or drunk,
understand what
but
you
in
mean,
a sober mind, in the sense of I am aware, I can make distinctions between what's right and what's wrong, what's good and what's bad, what I can enjoy and what I can support and what I can't. And so that comes with maturity, and Christians need to get to that place of maturity. Now, we don't need to be legalistic about saying you shall not listen to this, but there are certain things that you probably should not listen to, right? There are some things that there's a line that, okay, we shouldn't listen to this. Like there's certain dog pound songs from the 90s that probably shouldn't listen to because of just how perverted it is.
I mean, Let's Play House is pretty sick.
Yeah, so it's just there's a lot of songs that are sick. What are your thoughts? So I noticed there's like this trend in hip hop.
Okay.
Hip hop sounds a lot different than what Tupac, what he had, what his sound kind of was. He seemed to write his own raps. It sounded more hip hop, and then now we're different.
He's trying to say it sounds like yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Hip hop sounds different. What are your thoughts? Do you think hip hop sounds different? Do you think it's better when it was in the 90s? Do you think it's better now? What are your thoughts on that?
I believe that the 90s rap from the 80s, 70s rap to 80s rap, I believe it's better than overall today's era. Today's era, in my opinion, is terrible. I believe that hip hop music in general was being watered down, especially when it comes to creativity. I believe that there's a lot of artists out there nowadays that are just on the wave. They're just hearing a whole bunch of other people that are doing this same type of view of music. It's like, you know what? Yeah, I hear all these type of guys that have no talent and no sense of creativity. So, I'm going to join the same type of thing they're on. So, and honestly, I kind of say it with a little bit of irritating, because when it comes to artists like me and my friends like Desmond, Desi Yates, a whole bunch of other people in Christian artists, the Christian rap industry, and just overall in hip hop in general. We put our blood, sweat, and tears into the stuff we do. Especially this is what God had us do. This is what God called us to do, and we want to make music to make perfection for Him. And when you hear people just biting someone else's style and doing it the same exact way, I'm talking about hearing the same song on the radio and sounding like the same other sound on the other guy's tune. To me, it doesn't sound it doesn't sound great. It just sounds like I can do that too.
Okay, so the sound is definitely different. I want to ask you this question. Then we're actually going to talk about Christian culture, Christian rap, in a few moments, because that's kind of your realm and kind of what we grew up in. We're going to talk Christian rap in a few minutes, but before we get to that, there's this new rap style, new rap genre that I've heard about within the past couple years that I thought was like different. Let me know if you know what this emo rap.
Yes.
What is emo rap?
Emo rap is a whole bunch of weirdos. It's a whole bunch of I'm just being honest. A whole bunch of weirdos that are basically talking about depression and are talking about suicide, from suicide to talking about how they broke up with a girlfriend, talking about all these other things, and basically at parties on Molly, tripping on Percocets, but I'm talking about in a weird way. It's dreary, it's dark. I listened to it a few times because people were telling me, yo, check out this guy named X Tentacion. I probably butchered his name, but I was like listening to it and I'm like, this stuff, first of all, has no creativity too. It's just dark and depressing.
I thought it was extension. Is that wrong?
Yeah, extension, sure, yeah.
Is that
well, I mean,
what's his name? Put it in the chat if you know his name. Go and put
X
it.
Tentacion.
Let me know how to pronounce that name, because I don't. I know who he is. He died, right?
X tonsils, yeah.
X tonsils. Emo rap is weird. I've heard about it, and there is definitely an influence that I think it has on younger generation, your generation. Not so much my generation, but your generation and younger. That seems to have an influence on as far as getting in their feelings. Yeah, dying. So I would say all that is to say is that Christians need to be aware of music. They can appreciate art. They don't have to feel like they're sinning because they like a secular artist or they're listening to secular music, but they also need to be aware of the message and let it not influence their lives. So we're going to talk about Christian rap in just a few moments. Make sure to like this video if you receive value, subscribe, share this video. Also check out Aaron's music on Spotify, on YouTube, on what else?
Basically, you kind of said it on YouTube Music as well.
Okay.
Amazon as well.
See you in a few moments.